All right, we are back. Um, so I just looked at where I am in the quest line. I'm almost done. I did not expect that. This is a very well balanced story. So let's continue on. Let's see if we can get the trolley running. Right then, the Talos, their hearts cannot be made of just any stone. You need a special sort with sufficient ethereal conductivity. But it and the other materials used in its construction of Talos bodies are mined in the same place. Okay. The place, of course, being here, the Amber, the Hills of Amber. And it was 3 years ago when she. No, I can't say it. I'm sorry. You'll have to hear it from the Faith or someone else. Huh? She who? Back to the tavern then. Still here, eh? Can you can ask again, but the answer's the same. Our trolleys are what? God damn it, Jarek. You could have at least finished so I wouldn't have to clean up your mess. Seeing how you made such quick progress in fixing the Talos and all, he's probably thinking you could help change things around here. And I think he may be right. Gather your friends and I'll tell you what you want to know.
Magnus's wife was a miner, you know. Greatest prospector there ever was. When the golem heart started failing, she was the first to head out in search of more. Problem was, most of the veins ran dry ages ago, and finding fresh ones to tap's only gotten harder. But she wasn't one to be deterred. She just kept digging deeper and deeper. And then the mine collapsed. We labored day and night to clear away the rubble, but it took us 2 months to find her. To find her body. Magnus has never been the same since.
Where is he, if you don't mind my asking?
Ah, yes, well, if he's not here, there's only one other place he'd be.
times must I tell you? The trolley won't run! We'd be better off dismantling the damn thing and selling the parts for scrap. Now, piss off back to wherever you came from. And don't let me catch you around here again.
What were their names?
My son was named Scully. My wife, Agna. Being here with them, it beats going home. Home stopped being home when I lost them. I thought to try and drown my sorrows, but somehow, the bottle's never deep enough.
No bottle is. Believe me, I know.
You've lost someone too?
Not like you. Not my own flesh and blood. I grew up an orphan, so I never really knew what family meant. Not until I met a man who offered to take me in and make me his pupil. He was a kindly soul, always looking out for me, like a father. Not that I appreciated that at the time, or anything else for that matter. But I finally had a family. And then I robbed a young girl of hers.
Ooh, we're getting some Thancred backstory.
I did my best to make amends, to offer her comfort. But the more I look back on it, the more I realize just how inadequate my efforts were. I let her down. That is why I refuse to let her legacy die.
Ah, that was Minfilia.
In the end, all we can do is press on, for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. And that requires your Talos. Please, Magnus. You are our only hope of reaching Nabarth Areng.
What rubbish.
She's not gone. No matter what you say or believe, she's not. We can still bring her back.
I love the moral dilemma this kid faces. Like, she wants to help Thancred forget his pain, but Thancred wants her to live on. It's very interesting. Full well do I know the pain of loss and how heavily it can weigh on one's heart. Nevertheless, there is but one way forward. We need to procure a new heart for the Talos. Thaf, knowest thou any location wherein we might find the stone we require? No matter how scant the possibility, we would seize it. I told you near all the veins were tapped dry years ago, though I suppose if you really want to try, you might find some at Nuvi's Leavings. It was opened well before Telos became commonplace, which is why mining there has never been quite as deep. When you get there, look for Guth John and tell him I sent you. And don't be surprised if he tells you the same thing. Thine assistance is most appreciated. Sapphire think it best Thancred joined thee in this search. Though he would be quick to deny it, his heart is in turmoil, and his thoughts clouded. 'Twould be unwise to ignore his distress. Alright, Thancred, where are you? Wait, what is this? Oh, it's a quest I forgot to do. Okay. I will put that on the back burner for now. I'll come back to it later. I'm slightly surprised he doesn't have one leg up against the wall. Off to somewhere, are you? At last, a lead on the stone. We need the power of Talos. I can't very well have you go on your own. Lead the way. Of course he comes along. I say we're long overdue for a good turn. I can only hope the gods feel the same way. Now, Nuvi's Leavings was to the south, was it? Let's get going. I don't remember if I checked if this person has a... Okay. I will finish off my missions and then... I'm just realizing how many of these I have. Wow. Okay. Wait a minute. This is gonna go one of two locations. I could have probably stayed up here and gone down. I'll take the low ground just to see. way you described it, I was expecting the place to be abandoned. Perhaps our fortunes are finally improving, though we should probably hear what Guthjon has to say before we celebrate. Assuming we can find him, that is. Who are you, and what are you doing here? Well, you should have listened to Thaf. You're wasting your time. Thaf? Thaf. But this site is not as developed as the others, is it not? Surely there must be something left. I should explain. The stone you're looking for is leonine. All the Talos are in the Ember Hills are powered using them. Or were, at least. Anyway, whatever's left, if anything, is too far below to be safely excavated. In the deepest reaches of the mine, we used Talos to keep the pathways from collapsing. They're still there, but they could give out at any time, which is why much of the mine is closed off. Then our only option is to search the higher levels for any fragments of leonine that may have been overlooked. I suppose there may be one other way. Well, don't leave us in suspense. What you're asking for is a trade secret. I'll need to be duly compensated in exchange. Fine. What do you want? The other day I found a Vobert gold piece down in the mines. A bloody Vobert gold piece. Wouldn't you know it, I dropped the damn thing somewhere while I was working. Okay. Find it and I'll tell you what you want to know. You drive a hard bargain, sir, but we'll take it. It seems we have our work cut out for us, Sapphire. Thankfully, I have an idea for how we can hurry things along. Okay. As I'm sure you noticed, despite their best efforts to illuminate the corridors, it's rather dark in there. Meaning it will be much harder to find a single coin hiding in the shadows. That's why I propose we use these, sun drops. They help the eye take in more light. Why don't you start your search further in? I'll handle this area. I'll retrace your steps after in case you happen to miss it. If you feel the drops wearing off, I can give you more, so don't worry. Have I been given them? Probably not. So it doesn't really change anything for me. Okay, it keeps doing the Bosom Buddies one for me. How far do I have to go for that? Oh, sweet. I'm gonna have to look and see. Let me flip over to Dancer right quick. Yeah, because I'm like, I feel like I'm close to... I was hoping he'd drop a goat piece somewhere closer to the entrance. More fool me for thinking Lady Luck was on our side. Or maybe she is. Yours, at least. In the end, my contribution was a little more than poor company. Oh my god. No more than usual, I assure you. I only managed to survive the Carthan wilderness and the imperial capital by virtue of extensive preparation, a habit of mine since childhood, and one of my few positive traits which endeared me to Louis Soir, I imagine. Wait, so how is Minfilia related to Louis Soir? It hasn't been easy finding ways to compensate for my condition. Every tool and trinket has proven vital to my continued success, such as it is. Had I chosen to pursue the arcane arts rather than espionage, well, I'd rather not think on it. Okay, so I gotta assume he's, like, lack of magical power. So long as I have the means to protect those dear to me and to see my duties through, that's all that matters. Now let's hurry and return to Guthjohn. He's right there. The sooner we get back to Urianger and Minfilia, the better. You're back. Wait, does that mean... Yes, here you go. I'll be damned, you actually found it. Well, a deal's a deal, but I don't think this means you'll find what you're after. To be honest, I wasn't sure you could pull it off, but you did, and I'm a man of my word. Come with me. Wow, really? You were not my intended target. That was. Every time I step out of those mines, the sky seems to get brighter. I'd never leave them if the air weren't so stale. But you're not come to hear my grievances. You're after Leonine. First, I have to ask, ever heard of rockworms? Rockworms. I know them by another name, but though I'm fairly certain the locals call them knockers. Aye, that they do. Whatever you call them, those little bastards may be the answer to your troubles. Knockers. Are those the weird face and arm looking things? They can fit through cracks and crevices down where we could never hope to reach. And on occasion they come back with something valuable. Okay. They dig up Leonine in the mines. It's a rare occurrence, but yes. That said, it usually amounts to no more than a few flakes. Well, our only other option sounds tantamount to suicide. So, can we draw out these rockworms? Go over by the shed, you'll find a bag full of smoke bombs. Set a few off in the mines and you'll flush them out in no time. Great. Once they're out in the open, knock them senseless and check their bags. I should warn you, this method of mining, if you can even call it that, is useful as a last resort on account of what little they are likely to bring back. You'll want to cover as much ground as you can if you hope to find anything valuable. Assuming you do find something, bring it here and I'll have a look. We should split up if we're to cover more ground, as he suggests. If you can cover these 3 areas on your map, I'll see to my parts between them. So we're probably gonna have to... Ah, okay. I know what to talk about for the rockworms. That thing. Alright, where are we headed? Oh, we're heading back in the mine. Oh, there's... Oh, let's go this way. Since this one's closer. And we haven't explored this part of the mine yet. And of course there's golems. I need 60k just to hit the level. Might as well. There you are. Find anything promising? between the two of you, I'd say you've got quite a haul. Let's get comfortable, friends. This is going to take some time. This is going to take time for me to sift through all this.
You may not remember this about Arminfilia, but prior to founding the Path of the 12, long before the Scions, she was something of a miner. After her father died, Flamine took her in and taught her the trade. I think they were both seeking to fill the void left by a loved one. Maybe that's why she took to it so readily. Back in those days, I spent most of my time in the Quicksand, or some other tavern, loosening tongues and gathering secrets. Occasionally, I'd catch a glimpse of her in the street, on her way home after another hard day's work. I always felt a wave of relief when I saw she'd come back safe, along with a pang of guilt at the fact I wasn't there to support her as I should have been. Simply speaking with her more than once in a blue moon would have been a good start, but I could never bring myself to do it. Instead, I threw myself into my work and became every drunkard's best friend. Far from it, and Flamine has never let me live it down. But that was a lifetime ago. Here and now I have another chance to do things right, and I will not squander it again.
Hey! Come and see what I found! You're not going to believe this.
Tell me it's Leonine.
It is at that. You lot were born lucky. It's mostly broken pieces. But look at this.
This is a rather fine specimen.
It's been decades since we found anything approaching this big. But that's not all. There's an engraving on it.
Ah, these scratches here. They're a little hard to make out. To my beloved Magnus and Schoolie.
Yes! Do you see? It was a gift to Magnus from his wife. She found it. She really found it. She must have spent her final hours carving this message into the stone, in the hope that he might see it one day. Those rock-backed bastards must have made off with it before we could clear a path to her. It's fate that brought you here to find this stone. No other explanation. It makes me wonder what else might still be buried in these parts.
Yay! Wait, what does that do? I missed it. Enhanced technical finish. Okay. Let's go back to Bard. Because Bard's at 77. I wouldn't believe it had I not seen it for myself. Before you set it in the Talos, when you take it to Magnus, for 3 long years he believed she died for nothing. He must know the truth, that her sacrifice was not in vain. We'll straight to him. You have my word. Thank you, Guth John, for all your help. Right then, let's not keep everyone waiting. If you've come to complain about the trolley, you have no sympathies from me. I told you that it won't run and you won't listen. Well, wouldn't listen. Oh, but it will, now that we have this. Your name is engraved on it, along with your son's. It was a gift from your wife, Magnus, from Agna. Anna or Agna? No, she couldn't have. We'll just say Anna. Take it. Do with it what you will. Are you certain? It would delay our plans, but I said take it. It was you who found it, you who needs it. Look at that stone. All I can see is please, just leave me be. I hope you'll be there when the Talos stirs to life. I'm sure she would have wanted you to see it. Would you do the honors of delivering this to Urianger? Thou art returned with Leonine, it would seem. As promised, the Talos have been made ready to receive its heart, thanks in no smart to Jarek, Faith, and Minfilia. At last we shall return time to the timeless, this sentinel of stone, that we may press on towards Nabath Arang. I still don't know how to say that name properly. Very good. Now let us begin.
Preparations for the enchantment are complete. When the heart hath been suffused with a sufficient quantity of ether, the golem should be restored to life.
All right then. Whenever you're ready.
It's working! It's working! Magnus!
You left me for this? This wretched heap of stone and rubble? This worthless pile of earth? And yet... I can't...
I'm not gonna lie, they're tugging on some heartstrings in some of these moments.
What troubleth thee, child?
I shouldn't be here. I don't deserve to be. I don't deserve any of the things you've done for me. I'm just a burden, helpless and hopeless. If tomorrow came and I was gone, it would be better for everyone. Thancred most of all. He'll never admit it, but I can see it in his eyes. I wish he'd just say it. Just say that he hates me, that he wishes I was dead so that she could return.
None of this is thy doing, child. 'Twas I who set the Oracle on her path unto the first. I who condemned you all to suffer these torments. 'Tis my sin alone, and one that will haunt me unto my dying day. Yet I dare not dwell over long on my many regrets, for the world is a tapestry of fates, interwoven and inseparable. And we who strive to better it cannot choose but make difficult decisions. For naught of worth was ever achieved without sacrifice. And thus must man ever struggle to weigh life against loss. The one for whom thou mournest beareth no grudge. Were she here, she would not suffer thee to languish in sorrow. She would tell thee to seek thine own path, thine own purpose. It is a truth which I myself was slow to learn. Yet a truth it remaineth. Thou needst but have faith, and all will be well.
Not today.
What are the twins up to? Clement Silk, what is your plan?
That is your extended stay.
Oh, to the tediousness of our hero's present endeavors. That and the insufferable abundance of light in Armorang. I should be glad to keep my distance. Oh, I'm rather fond of sleep, you know. It's a wonderful way to pass the time. Not that my compeers would agree, mind you. Always on the move, the lot of them. Like La Hebrea, constantly jumping from vessel to vessel. Such fire, such determination. So much passion fleeting and forgotten. Come to think of it, Exarch, I don't believe I've ever seen you retire to your chambers for so much as 40 winks. However do you keep your eyes from closing? The cold shoulder. You wound me, sir. Always so guarded in our every interaction. Interactions you curiously refrain from sharing with the Scions and their champion.
And risk souring your budding relationship? I think not. Much as I dislike you, there are more useful targets for his energies. And I'm not in the habit of pointing him at my enemies like a weapon.
Is that right? Fond of him, are you? You continue to fascinate me, Exarch. But tell me, who are you? The once great nation whose ingenuity gave birth to this tower was shaped by my hand. As such, I know full well the wonders it can facilitate and those it cannot. There is nothing in these walls which could have aided you in summoning our dear friend across time and space. Much less in possession of his mortal flesh, not even I could have performed such a feat.
I see. You had a hand in Alag as well. You would know what I am? I am the adjudicator of the sacred history with which you dared trifle. I am keeper of this tower's boundless wisdom. The wisdom of ages without age, of everywhere and nowhere. The great work of those who tamed the wings of time and grasped the nature of the rift. 'Tis a boon born of sacrifices yet unmade. The parting gift of brave heroes who will one day give their lives for a brighter future. I will not see their hopes and dreams squandered. The history which led us here will be unwritten. I promise you that.
Well, it seems we're both eager to fulfill our duties then.
On that much, we are in agreement.
Mine apologies for the delay. Minfilia and I had a private matter to discuss. Which brings me to the question, how didst thou find Thancred during your search? He spoke of Minfilia. Of his own accord? I see. 'Tis well that he did, and with such candor. I attempted to broach the subject before. My intentions was to ensure no words remain unspoken between them, lest tragedy intercede. A regret I myself know all too well. Alas, in the end he refused to heed my counsel. A time will come when they must face the reality of their circumstances, but I have faith that all will be well in time. Now, let us not tarry any longer. The Talos and Nabath Arang await.
Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I'll run, I'll hide. Darkness always clouds my mind. When I look behind, it's moving closer every time. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. 'Cause darkness, my old friend, you won't get me till at the end. At the end. Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe